Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to Popternative. This is the talk show and podcast where we have digital discussions, worlds of TV, film, pop culture, music, news, sports, lifestyle, everything really depending on the guest. We talk about it all. As always, I'm your host, Peter Remoliotis. On social media, you know me as Peter Beats. My guest is a musician, does a lot of really cool stuff in the music world. Is also an actor. You're going to recognize her in Jupiter's Legacy, which just dropped on Netflix. Aiza Nibarikure is with us. Aiza, welcome to Popternative.
Thank you so much for having me. Jeez.
It's a little bit of like a tale of two interviews here, right? Because we got like some music stuff to talk about. We got some TV stuff to talk about. Some Jupiter's Legacy. There's a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yes, absolutely. And we're loving it because it's a pandemic and we're still in the game.
Did you know that you were going to basically be in that position where you were going to do the music stuff and the acting stuff, or did it just kind of happen?
I mean, now I absolutely know. It's been a few years, but when I started out, it was just following my heart, like following my passions. I went to study theater, and after that I just dove into the acting world. I did a lot of theater, and then from theater I moved to film and TV, and being in theater school made me miss music because it was like I needed that outlet, and so it pushed me to pursue music at the same time. And so I'm done trying to pick. You don't even need to ask me. I do all of it, and I love all of it.
Absolutely. And we are both alums of the same school, Dawson College.
Bra, 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 bra.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's crazy there's a lot of people, not only like on camera, like behind camera, there's a lot of people that have done amazing things from Dawson. Like, it's crazy.
I know. I think it's like the underdog. Like, people don't really take it seriously. But then when you look at the track record, it's like, okay, there's some pretty cool cats out of that college.
Yeah, absolutely. Friday, Jupiter's Legacy dropped on Netflix. Superhero culture, comic book culture, geek culture is huge right now. What does it feel like to be kind of part of a show of such a big kind of fan base right now?
Honestly, it feels amazing. It feels epic. I have not been part of a show of this magnitude. I had never flown before. I had never blasted people with ectoplasm before.
That's a really cool still too. You're gonna have that still will never leave you, by the way.
It'll never leave. It's now a GIF on Twitter.
It will never leave.
It will never leave. Like, my goal is to end up on I accidentally became a meme, and someone used that image and then just let it take off with a life of its own. So it's been really, really amazing. The actors on the show are all a lot of fun, very talented. I love the part. I love Sierra. She's very brave. She gets her butt kicked, but she fights back as much as she can, and she stands up for what's right.
And she's a meme.
Heart. Yeah, she's a meme. She's all of the things. And I also love the Black hairstyle representation. I wanted to make sure that I had Bantu knots, which is, this hairstyle goes way back in Africa, and it was nice to have that on display and for everyone. Some people might not know the hairstyle, and now they get to see it. So
absolutely,
representation all the way.
It's pretty funny though, because you put like Jupiter's Legacy on on Google and like images and stuff, and like you come up like it's like you're on like the first page. Like, it's awesome.
I love it. I'm like, first of all, I'm gonna brag that I love my costume the most. I think, I'm loving the golds and the pinks and the gems and the jewels. And I was not expecting this much love and support and excitement about Sierra. Definitely about the show. But like you said, I'm in a few episodes in the show. So the impact that it's having right now is heartwarming and really exciting.
And it's super cool. I mean, the sequence, we talk about you being a meme and everything, but there's so much so much happening. What was that like, filming that sequence?
Man, it was insane. It was actually so long. It took about at least a month. And before that, it was a lot of training, going to the gym, especially the leads, they had to train every single day. I went to the gym a few times, trying to get tightened about it. But ultimately, the thing that took the most time was the choreography, because
Yeah,
if you saw the sequence, it's so intricate and there's so much happening at the same
there's a
time.
lot going on.
Yeah, and there's a dance between us and our stunt doubles, right?
Yes.
So it took a few weeks of us being on that hilltop, rehearsing on that hilltop, and then finally getting into costume with, we needed two people to get us into our gear. Some of them had to have a like a tube that would blow cold air into their suits, or else they would overheat. Like, it was a whole operation, and then we had to learn how to fly in the harness. It was an experience. So it didn't take 3 days. It was at least 4 weeks of work,
Amazing.
solid work. Yeah.
Okay, music. It's a crazy time for music right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, with the pandemic, the touring and a lot of that was really difficult. Do you look at kind of the other side, the silver lining is that in terms of like discovering artists like
Mhm.
yourself,
Mhm.
it's been insane. Like the amount of like artists that have been discovered in the
Yeah.
last like year and a bit is crazy, Aiza.
I know. I know. It's been a very trying time, I think, but artists are so, I think humans in general are resilient, but artists especially, like, we're used to the grind, we're used to being thrown curveballs, we're used to making things happen for ourselves,
Yep.
and so this has been a great opportunity to connect with songwriters around the world. Like, I've been doing so much writing with people in the UK, people in Colombia, people in the US, and these are things that I didn't really do as much before, because it was all about the one-on-one, face-to-face, and now we're really making use of Zoom and
Yes.
FaceTime and all these platforms online that allow us to connect with everybody around the world. So I think for me, it's been a beautiful journey of just diving deeper into my music. I'm working on my album right now. I'm really excited about it. And I cannot wait for people to hear what I got
It's
cooking.
funny because you can also link this to like Jupiter's legacy, but like when artists and bands, they do press and they do interviews, like I get it, right? Like a lot of people
Hmm.
miss kind of like being at a red carpet or being at a gig and like doing an interview before a show. Like I get that, like
Yeah.
100%. But you have to think that like what we're doing right now, you have to think of the cost aspect of it. Like think about all all the money that is being saved on like getting everyone to a press day, getting like the catering. Like think about it. Like this is
Oh,
not. I don't think the virtual press junket is going away.
I don't think so either. I think people, and people in general, like working from home,
Yeah.
so many people now have discovered that they can work from home and it's so much better for them. And I'm like, okay, let's go off. And now, by the time we get back to I don't know, seeing each other in person, we're going to have a nice balance of like,
What do you think it's going to be like? I feel like it's going to be 50-50, where there's going to be like
yeah,
some people that are just kind of going to like get back into it like nothing happened and go back to their lives. And then there's a lot of
yeah.
people that are going to be like adapting or like doing like what do you it's going to be weird.
Honestly, I think that a lot of us have low key agoraphobia at this point. Like,
Yeah.
we've been stuck at home, and then you get comfortable, and then it's like, why would I go there? Like, what's happening? So I feel like a lot of people it's gonna be an adjustment for everybody, but there's always the ones, the trailblazers, who go right ahead, dive in headfirst once everything is gonna be available again. But we'll see, But when it comes to me and my music and the way I'm working, it's just, I think now more than ever, after surviving 2020, I'm like, you know what? I could do anything, y'all. I could do anything. You just wait.
It's crazy too because I was just talking about this with a friend. I mean, 2019 was like a busy year. There was a lot going on. Like the year before the pandemic, like there was a lot happening in
Yeah.
2019.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, in December 2019, I went on my first international tour, and I was in Brazil, and it was an incredible experience. And it just felt like, I was just about to go perform at the Junos, like in March, early March. So it was just like building up, and then the pandemic hit, and it was just like, what? because 2019 was insane. Like you're saying, it was just so full of opportunities and crazy cool things happening. But what's interesting is that even though 2020 kicked our butts, here we are in 2021, and there's still amazing opportunities, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of action. I'm there like, damn, okay, like we're still here, we're still making it happen, you know. And when you mention the dance between my acting and the music, what's
Yeah.
interesting is that I was working on my music video Turn to Gold while I was on set for Jupiter's Legacy. So,
That
you know,
tag
like
team.
that's it. So I had my laptop there. I was looking at the edits. I wanted to make sure that everything was put together. And that's also one of the reasons why in the music video, my hair is the same as Sierra's, because we literally filmed it when we had like a little window of time when I wasn't on set. I was on another set filming my music video. So, you know, for the people watching, go check out Turn to Gold. It's a mantra, and it's a song that I released last year. And I'm sure it'll inspire you to get shit done.
I'm sorry, I have to right now. Like
Yeah.
forever. I'm sorry. Like the amount of it's so good. I'm sorry.
I know, it's such a good shot. Like I can't even deal.
It's so good.
Thank you.
It's great. Like you're gonna have that forever. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm like, let's
Can't
go.
you see that though? Like if there was ever like if there was, okay, this is good. You're gonna love this. You ready for this? If there was a new like school for superheroes, and it was like an all girls school, and it was like you're gonna be powerful and everything, that would be like the phone, like
absolutely. It would be the banner. It would be in the pamphlets, like on the website. I'm ready for it. Let's go.
When people listen to your music, the obvious answer to this question is you hope they enjoy it. You hope they like listen to it on repeat, like recommend it to their family and friends. Diving deep into it a little bit more, what are you hoping they get out of it when they listen to Aiza?
I want people to feel empowered. Most importantly, you know, I make music that makes me feel good. I always talk about, well, yeah, mostly it's about overcoming and celebrating yourself. And so I'm hoping that the person listening to my music puts it on when they need a pick me upper, puts it on when they're feeling good, puts it on when they're down and they need a reminder of how amazing they are. That's the kind of music I make.
Absolutely. And there is a lot of genre bending happening in music these days. I think genres are being thrown out the window. I think playlists on Spotify are more general and universal in terms of there's like the playlists that I've checked out that have like so many different genres of music on them. You know what I mean? What do you think about the genre bending that's going on in music? And like a lot of genres are kind of being thrown out the window a little bit.
I love it. Honestly,
even your music, you have a lot of stuff going on.
Exactly. I mean, for me, it works out because I am a music lover, and so I don't discriminate. You know, if it's good, if it's soulful, if it moves me in the moment, then it's great to me. You know, and I'm not like, I don't listen to rock. I'm only into, you know. So for me, my sound is R&B soul meets Afro pop. It's got sprinkles of trap. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
For me, genre bending all the way.
And Aiza had over 100,000 streams on Spotify, and it's one of those things where it's crazy because you put out a lot of songs and everything. Was that a song that you knew was gonna get a lot of hits, or was it like yeah, exactly. That's what I love to hear. That's the best.
I had no idea. You know, I thought that L'Univers est à moi would get it. For the people watching, I am a Frenchie as well. I'm from Montreal, so I sing it. You know, voila. So we speak both in French, both in English. I write my music both in French and English. And so Adieu was the EP that I dropped in 2018, in the fall 2018. It was my first EP, and it's a French EP. And the song Adieu was to me like the gem of the project, but I didn't expect people to really connect as much as they did. And I didn't expect it to like have a little, you know, pop off on Spotify. I was like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
crazy. What have been, very quickly before we wrap up, some learning experiences for you as kind of as a musician rather than like an actor? I mean, I feel like music is just the grind is just like acting, the grind's like there, but
mhm.
you know this from like being an indie artist and like all the things that go into like you're doing a lot. Like people have like agents and managers in music, but a lot of people literally, like you said, like they do it themselves, like
Yeah.
literally themselves. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, for sure. So wait, what was your
Learning
question?
experiences for you as like an artist, having to do everything.
Yeah, some learning experiences. Um, I think the biggest lesson I've learned in the last little while is to trust myself.
Yep.
You know, um, I've I've always had a very strong intuition, but now I don't question it as much. You know,
Yep.
if something feels off, I'm not gonna spend weeks trying to convince myself that it's off. You know that I might be wrong. You know, so I'm learning to really trust myself and not see enemies everywhere. You know, because coming up, you know, you deal with some crap. You know, you deal with some people and they're not very cool, and that can be a little traumatizing. But it's important to remain open and optimistic. And so my biggest lesson has been that to trust myself and to not be afraid to shine, you
Yeah.
know, not be afraid to share what I have to say, to put myself out there, because you know you can have the perfect idea for a song in your head, but if you don't go to the studio, record it and drop it, guess what, nobody's going to hear it and nothing's going to happen. So it's just
Absolutely.
like, get out there, do the thing, and let life show you where it's headed.
100%. And I'm smile. It's funny because I'm smiling from time to time because I still go back to that meme from Jupiter's Legacy because greatest thing of all time. Aiza, thank you so much for coming on Popternative. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be one of your guests.
I'm so excited that we were able to do this. I mean, Jupiter's Legacy, they can catch your character in the first couple of episodes. And
Mm-hmm.
where could, like, plug away, where can people follow you on social media, the music, plug away?
Yes. Yes. So you can find me everywhere. My handle is at AIZABBY. AIZABBY. That's my handle on Instagram. That's my handle on Facebook. I think I should get a Twitter account. Should I get a Twitter account?
Yeah, you should
I
have
should
it just to,
probably
like, to have it. Yeah.
I should probably get on Twitter now. Like I had a Twitter account a little while back, and then so that's coming soon. New music is on the way. I'm dropping a bunch of content. You know what I mean? So follow me. It's a lot of fun. My online tribe is solid, and everyone there is a beautiful, spiritual, optimistic, and just like wicked person to connect with. So find me on the gram and TikTok.
TikTok, of course. We can't forget about the TikTok.
Cannot forget about TikTok.
Absolutely. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. Until next time, this is Aiza Nibarikure and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.